really like to develop something for preschool. I happen to be working on a few other things with Joe Murphy, who's the CEO of Murphy Media, in relationship to opioid prevention and education. And had mentioned to him, hey, what do you think about creating something that could be applicable to the pre-K environment?
Get to the older ones, sometimes they've already got this mindset of, bad habits. Just they see what's around them, and you're unfortunately sometimes a product of your environment. And if we get to them early and they start learning good habits, the earlier the better.
Never imagined that within 4 or 5 weeks we would have a talking avatar that could interact with the children in real time, and we named him Rex the RX.
Have you been telling Mrs. Webb in her class all about, this?
What's that? What's that?
Oh, it's pretty cool, huh? Don't you wish you had one? Mm-hmm. I bet Joshua wishes he had one. And what about Temperance? Hey, Temperance, do you have a hat? Temperance. Blake, Blake.
He's not gonna high-five you or give you a hug. He will interact with you, but the whole purpose of Rex is that we don't want the kids to keep Rex around.
Oh, guys. Bye.
This is the way, in my judgment, to reach them. They're used to being interactive, and they really don't respond to anything but that. So you've got to find a way to make that impression and make it last.
Hey guys, what do you think of my hat? You like it? Anybody here wear a hat? No?
Kids like Rex because he's also interactive, and he can communicate in the actual classroom, so you can say the kids' names, and that gets their attention immediately.
The response has just been amazing. The kids really relate to the avatar, so if they do have a prescription medication that they take, which a lot of kids do, we want them to use that medication properly, but we also want to ensure that they're not sharing medications. We know that we have an enormous amount of children living with grandparents, living in foster care. We know that grandparents, that age group, they're more likely to have multiple prescriptions where they probably shouldn't be, where they're much more accessible.
So it's a short program, but it's very effective. And Rex can talk to the kids, answer questions with the kids, and give them vital information.
Technology was used, it was very interactive, and the kids really seemed to enjoy it and learn a lot. I mean, medication's not something that we talk about a lot with kids at all because you don't know where to draw that line, but this made it very kid-friendly and interactive.
Do you know what that means?
He's expired.
He's expired.
Hey, hold up a second there, Susan.
And so the message of don't keep Rex around is a real poignant one and real important, and something that a 4 or 5-year-old can kind of wrap their arms around and understand.
So we were really making a difference. We were reaching more schools and more counties and more kids than we ever had before with the medication safety message that Rex shared. And then in March of 2020, just like the rest of the world, the Rex program really came to a halt. So we were all working together and trying to figure out ways to get the program back online in any way, shape, or form, and then kind of hit the pause button and realized that now the message was even more important because you had all of these children who were at home with parents and grandparents who more than likely were not storing medications properly, and that made medication a lot more accessible and the message so much more important. We went back to the roots of Rex, which is innovation, and we found a way to scale the program by bringing Rex into homes remotely. And what that did was it opened everything up to a very unintended audience of parents and grandparents and caretakers who started to engage with us and their children about the importance of medication safety. We continue to believe that the message of medication safety is important, and that's for any medication. It doesn't have to be an opioid. We know that medications can be very dangerous if not taken by the person that they're prescribed. We also know that Most children who overdose on a medication accidentally ingest that medication because it was not stored properly. We know that most people who become addicted to a medication do so because they obtain that medication either knowingly or unknowingly from a friend or relative. Something that we really thought would delay or derail the program and our message about medication safety really turned out to be something positive in terms of being able to reach more people with the message, because in the end it's really important that no one keeps Rex around.
Okay, guys. Say hello to everybody.
Hi everybody, how are you doing today? It's never a dull moment here at the West Virginia Drug Intervention Institute. And we are here today to talk about medication safety and to give you a couple reminders of things that are going on right now and this weekend. But before I get into the fun stuff going on this weekend, I do want to share our Rex program with you all. So if you have kids at home, I'm just going to give you a few minutes and you can gather them around the computer, and we are going to talk about medication safety in a way that hopefully everybody in the house can understand and get on the same page. All right, I'm going to say let's do 3 seconds. So if you have kids around, now's a great time to grab them. All right, and I am actually going to be sharing our Don't Keep Rex Around medication safety program with you all today. All right, that one's for later, so I don't need that one right now. There's a couple things that we're going to have available to print off on our learning management system eventually, and a lot of this stuff is going to be available for educators at different schools. So if you know somebody that's actually interested in the full-blown program, you can send me an email at jessica@wvdii.org, and I will be happy to add you to my list for when we launch that program. All right, so a couple of the sheets and information I'm going to share today is straight from that program. So if there's something you're interested in, please just email me, jessica@wvdii.org. Okay? All right, so we're going to talk about Rex the RX today. And Rex is a medication bottle, all right? We want to make sure that people are aware of some safety issues, especially if you have children in the house. But we also want to make sure that nobody is afraid of medication, because we know that it's an important part of all of our lives. So let's start talking about some basic medication safety tips. First, we want to make sure that we always have, I'm actually going to close this. We always have Rex's cap on. Why would it be important to have Rex's cap on? Because we don't want our medication to spill out, right? If our medication spills out, we may not have enough to take, or worse, somebody that's not supposed to have the medication could accidentally pick it up, and this could be a child or maybe a pet. So we always want to make sure that the cap is on Rex and that it is secure. Another good tip is to make sure that we have a Rex up and out of sight. So securing him in a cabinet or a lockbox can also add a little extra benefit, safety benefit if you have children in the home. So we always want to make sure that Rex's cap is on. So if we have any kids at home, can you guys do this with me? We're going to say cap him, okay? We're just going to go cap him together, all right? 1, 2, 3. Cap him. Oh, I think I heard a couple of you. Very good. Very good, guys. So always make sure the cap is on your medication. All right. The second thing we want to talk about is to make sure that we know our medication. And we're talking about knowing our medication. It's really just as simple as checking the label to make sure your name is on the medication. We want to make sure that we are never sharing medication that's prescribed for somebody else, and we don't want to even give our medication away. One, we need that medication. If it's prescribed to you, it's prescribed for a reason. And 2, you never know how somebody else will react to medication. So never share your medication. All right. So when we're talking about knowing our medication, we talk about Rex's label. All right. And one of the things that is on the label, the prescription label of our medication or of our Rex, is that the name will be found on there. And this is something that even young children can pretty much understand. They might not know how to spell their name, but they'll be able to recognize their name. So teaching children even at a young age, 3, 4, 5 years old, to not take medication that doesn't have their name on it is very important. Know your medication. So Rex wears a shirt or a label that has our name on it. So we are going to point to our shirt and we are going to say know him. All right, so do I still have some kids with me? I think I might. So let's do know him together, guys, on the count of 3, okay? 1, 2, 3. Know him. I know there's somebody out there listening. I see you. All right. So the third thing that we want to share with families, and this is actually going to kind of tie into what's going on this weekend, is when you have a prescription that's old or you're no longer using it, it's best to get it out of the house. This will definitely cut down on the chances of somebody accidentally getting into the medication and having an overdose or something worse. So when your medication is old or expired, which we tell the kids, that's a 5th grade word. If you know expired, you're super smart. All right, so just remember, expired is old. All right, and we don't want to keep Rex around. When he is old, it's time to get him out of the house. All right, and that's just what we do to remember it. All right. So when he's old or expired, you want to get rid of him. So we're going to dispose him. All right, can you guys say that with me? Dispose him. We'll do it on the count of 3. All right, 1, 2, 3. Dispose him. Oh yeah, somebody's still hanging in there with me. Thank you. So we want to cap him. We want to know him. We want to dispose him. We don't want to keep Rex around. So if he's old or expired, make sure you are getting rid of him, okay? Oh, look, I even have this.
Hey, Jess.
Now, Rex,
Hey.
I didn't know you were coming today.
Hey, well, I didn't expect you to have a little talk without me.
Now, Rex, I can't have a discussion about you without you.
You can actually, think you can move, yeah. Oh, goodness.
Was that in your way, Rex?
It was in my way.
I'm sorry.
You need to clean up your work area a little bit there.
I wasn't expecting you, Rex.
Again, how can you have a discussion about the one and only Rex the RX without having Rex the RX in the building?
If you stop talking, I will tell you what I've been telling everybody.
Yeah, what's that?
So the first thing we talk about is how we always need to make sure that your cap, or that snazzy little white cap you wear, is on your head and it's tight and secured.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. So let's cap him. Yes, cap him. That's a beautiful cap. No cap for you today? No chaperone?
No, I did not bring my hat today. I'm sorry, Rex.
Oh, goodness.
I know you're a little bit jealous of it, so it's probably a good thing I didn't bring it.
Yeah, I don't think so. With a head like that, Jess, you need a hat.
Well, at least I'm not a flathead, Rex.
Okay.
So
Rude.
the second thing that I was talking to everybody about before you interrupted me was to make sure that they know their medication.
To know Rex is to love Rex.
No.
That is what I always say.
Rex.
Rexy Poo is for you.
Rex.
Yes.
We don't need to love you, but you
Yes.
you do have a place in our lives, and that's important. So we want to make sure
I
that
have a place in your heart, Jess.
No,
I
Rex.
have a place in the hearts of many.
Rex.
Yes, I am everyone's best friend. Yes.
No, Rex. No, only the person with the name on your label is allowed to hang out with you.
For example, Rex.
Rex.
So anyone named Rex can have me, right? So if your name is Rex, you can
It would be Rex, and then the last name would probably be on there too, Rex. So it would be just for that Rex.
Oh, I get what you're saying. So to know me is to love me unless your name is Jess.
Yes.
And then you can.
And then unless it said Miss Jess at the West Virginia Drug Intervention Institute, then I know not to touch it.
Oh.
See how that works, Rex?
Yeah.
So we want to know you. All right? If our name isn't on it, we don't take it.
Who is it I see out there? Look, is that Lynn Fruth?
Is Lynn out there?
I think I see Lynn Fruth out there. Hey, I love Lynn Fruth. I think she's been a little under the weather. Last time I saw her, she sounded a little bit like...
Well, you remember, Rex, what we're doing with Fruit Pharmacy right
yes,
now, too, don't you?
They love me there. They love me there.
Well, I think
They're big fans.
they love your message. We'll say that.
Yes,
so
I'm doing a live performance there.
Now, Rex, can I please get in a word? Seriously. So what we have going on right now at Fruit Pharmacy, guys, is we still have our activity books with Rex on them that your child can fill out and complete. And we also have this great coloring page that if your child is between the ages of 4 and 8, they can color this and you can send it into Fruit and they'll be entered into a contest for some pretty awesome prizes. All those instructions, along with some tips on how to talk to your children about medication safety, is on the back of the activity book. So make sure you're stopping in your local Fruit, getting your activity book.
Say hi to Lynn.
Say hi to Lynn Fruit for us. Just tell them, that Rex sent you.
Yeah.
And then you can also go back to your pharmacist at Fruit Pharmacy and ask for a medication disposal kit. Now, Rex.
Yeah.
I'm trying to talk to the people.
Okay. Tell me when you're done.
Okay, just another minute, okay? So you can go to your local Fruit Pharmacy and pick up this medication disposal kit. And if you have medication at home that you need to get rid of, because we don't want to keep Rex around, right? You can dispose of it. The instructions are on the back. It's really simple to use. This will get rid of about 45 pills, 6 ounces of liquid, or 6 patches. So if you have medication that you need to get out of your house, this is a pretty convenient way to do it. So start by your local Fruit. There's 29 locations in West Virginia, Ohio, and Kentucky.
29
Stop in one, pick up both of these wonderful items, and make sure that you tell them that Rex sent you.
That's right, Rex, and say hi to Lynn. Hey, Lynn. Yes.
Because nobody wants to keep Rex around, right?
Well,
now,
really
Rex.
quickly, can we talk about something while we're talking about the Fruit chain and all the wonderful things you guys are doing with them?
I would love to talk about that.
My favorite thing I'd like to talk about is the Rex coloring contest. Look at this. Brooklyn made this beautiful.
Oh,
absolutely
that's
beautiful.
Great, Brooklyn.
Amy, age 6, look at my very favorite. Anyone who knows me knows that Rexy loves the black and yellow.
Yeah. That is a great look for you, Rex. It actually is.
I'm going to just in that color. Look at this one. Amelia. Look at this age 5. Hannah, what's up? I love this look. I'm really going to work this look. I'm definitely.
Is that the rainbow look?
Yeah.
Am I thinking of the right one?
Yeah, your elbows in the picture there. Let me see your hand.
This one?
Look at that. Hey,
This
yeah,
one?
good there. Yeah. Always trying to always screen time.
Well, Rex, it's a little bit hard with you.
Lorelai, what a lovely name, Lorelai. And she's got that funny look. And Rex is looking cool. Oh, I love it. Oh my. Hey, Matthew, age 8, looking tight there. Look at that.
Now, Rex, don't you love the interpretations?
I love what they're doing with my hair.
They're great, aren't they?
I love you.
So make sure, guys, that you are stopping by your local Fruit and picking this up. Fill out the coloring sheet. They are also posting the coloring entries, some of them on their Facebook page, so you can get that into Fruit, and maybe you'll see it on Fruit Pharmacy's Facebook page as well.
Oh, man. Look at the Kinley. Kinley's got it down pat. Loving this one. Hey, Kinley. Owen.
Oh, that's so great.
Owen has got it. This Owen the artist. That's what we're going to call him.
Nice.
Owen
Very
the
nice,
artist.
Owen.
And
Yes.
I could look at these all day. Simply all day. Would you like to look at them all day?
Well, Rex, we don't have time to look at them all day.
Oh, how about
but we
them all
can
day?
go through our checklist to
Well,
make
hold
sure
on.
that
Whoa,
we've covered everything.
Hold on. I did hear you talking about
Now,
something.
Rex.
I mean, you said something, somebody mentioned something about taking me back to home where I came from, back to the country. Country roads, take me back home to the place where
Rex.
it's below. Hold on, I think
Rex.
I saw a poster. 1 second.
I'm serious, Rex.
I saw a
You're like
poster.
crazy right now. Bring it down a few notches.
Yeah.
Don't make me use my mom voice, because I will.
Yeah, I've heard it.
All right, so we do have something else really awesome going on this weekend, don't we, Rex?
I would say, I think.
So let's go ahead and share that with everybody. And then I think it's going to be time to say goodbye to you. Okay?
Yeah.
But this weekend, the West Virginia Drug Intervention Institute is taking part in the DEA's National Drug Take Back Day. So you can come to our office here at 118 Capitol Street in downtown Charleston and get rid of any unused, expired, old, yucky.
Get rid of. You mean bring together for a gathering of Rex and family?
No,
Yes.
Rex, it's not really a gathering.
So-
as much as,
Yeah.
you know, we want to get you out of the home so we can reduce the chances of an
With this
accidental
COVID, I'm dying to
overdose.
get out of the house. You know, leaving me in the medicine cabinet all the time. So how does this
So,
work, Miss Jess? You just-
Basically, an individual would just have to bring their medication. They don't need,
Yes.
we don't need any information from
No.
them. You dump your medication into a box.
Whoa, be careful, gentle. Be gentle.
We have some outstanding law enforcement members that will be here
Outstanding.
from the Charleston Police Department that will be here to assist.
They have
and,
cool hats.
and basically what they do, Rex, is I don't think you really want to know, but let's just say that they're permanently going to get rid of you.
What?
Yes. So any
Excuse
medication that is brought in during the DEA drug take back will be incinerated. So we don't have to worry about having that medication in the homes. Isn't that great, Rex?
I suppose so.
So we'll be getting that stuff out of the house. We will not be keeping Rex around. So we are participating here at our office, Rex, but there's several locations going on because this is a nationwide event. Fruth Pharmacy off Oakwood will also be participating, and they will be having flu shots as well.
Ooh.
So if you need your flu shot, you can stop in and do
Get
that.
the flu shot.
You can.
That's right. So I'm
but
gonna stick around for. Yeah,
Let
go
me
ahead.
say one more thing because
Whatever.
I almost forgot.
What
Rex.
did you forget?
You
You're always
tend to be a
forgetting.
little bit distracting when you're here. So let me make sure I,
like your hair today.
get this out.
Hair's
Thank you, Rex.
looking good.
Thanks, Rex.
I
We
have
will be
eyebrows
offering.
on fleek.
Rex, I'm going to backhand you.
No violence.
Okay. We will also be offering Naloxone Trainings this Saturday from 10 to 2 here at our location on Capitol Street. So naloxone is really one of those things that we have available to us that reverses overdose. And really, it's a good thing for anybody to have on hand. So if you have an opioid in your house, and that could be a pain medication, any type of pain medication, naloxone actually will reverse the effects of an opioid. So it's just a good thing to have on hand. I know I carry one with me, Rex, pretty much everywhere I go. So I always have that on hand if it's needed, because you never know when you might have the opportunity to save a life. So
Yeah, well,
we will have that training here on Saturday
could
as
you
well.
train me on that on Saturday?
Absolutely, Rex.
All
We
right,
would
I'll stick around.
We'll love to have you here with us on Saturday.
Oh, you're gonna keep me around till
so,
then, huh?
yeah, I think, Rex, you might even be out front helping us, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow, so we will keep Rex around.
Yeah, just for a little bit. And then one more thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to have syringe pickup kits that are available for people to come in and get. So if you have syringes at home, maybe you're a diabetic or you need some other type of medication that's delivered through a syringe, you can stop in and pick those up. Or maybe you live in an area where you've seen a syringe laying around, Rex. I mean, it happens. And you'd like to have the ability to pick that up. We'll have kits available with safety gloves and tongs to pick up the syringes and safely dispose of them as well.
All right. Well,
So-
I might just stick around till Saturday then.
Maybe.
You gonna let me stick around, or you
Well, you're not going to hang out, but, you know, there's definitely going to be the opportunity to get rid of
So
you.
you're not going to say the little catchphrase thing that you always do.
You know,
make
don't
me
keep Rex
leave and
around.
disappear. And I hate that part.
Well, let's get through the checklist first,
Oh,
Rex.
okay. I
Okay.
dig it.
So let's do this together. So everybody, remember what we talked about. We always want to make sure that our caps are on our medications, and this is prescription, it's over the counter, anything medication-wise. So let's just leave it at that. Always make sure the caps are on.
You know who's got their cap on? Amy Marie Constable. She's watching
Oh, really?
right now.
Hey,
Yeah.
Amy.
Yeah, she's watching right now.
It's great
Got
to
your
I'm glad
thinking
you're,
cap on
I'm
there.
glad you're watching, Amy.
Yeah.
So make sure that your cap is on, and it's also a good idea to securely secure your medication up and out of the way. Away from little eyes is always best.
You know who else is? Look at Amy. Amy, what you gonna do? Amy Lee Nickerson is here too.
Oh, Amy.
All the Amy's. We
Both
got
of them.
Amy.
Hey,
Amy.
It's great.
What you
I'm glad
wanna
you guys are
do.
watching. I wish I could see you.
Just know that Rex
Rex.
is cool with you. Oh.
Let's finish the
All
checklist,
right.
okay? You always want to make sure that you know your medication. Read those medication labels. If your name isn't on it, it's not for you, okay? And we always want to make sure that we are getting rid of medication properly. We want to dispose our medication in a safe way. Remember, we have the bags available at your local Fruth pharmacy, or you can participate in the DEA drug take back. We'll be here at 118 Capitol Street. We'd love to have you
Love
stop in.
to have you.
Get rid of your medications.
Get rid. What?
And you can also get trained on naloxone and pick up a syringe kit while supplies last. So this is the one you don't
Hey,
like.
Stephanie.
Rex.
Stephanie says I'm cracking her up because
Well,
I'm pretty funny. I know
He's
it's
a
not
funny
you.
guy, Stephanie. Just
know
because
it's-
you're not dealing with him, probably.
I'm sticking around forever. Can we,
So-
can we get a close up here? Yeah, there
Well,
we go.
you know, we
close
just-
up of Rex. Excuse me, I'm hijacking this thing. Once again, come see Rex live
Now,
at
Rex.
the West Virginia Drug Intervention Institute, where I'll be singing, dancing, and making fun of Jess's hair all day long. Cause
All right, Rex.
All right.
You know what time it is?
well, it's time to
It's not time to party. It's time to say goodbye because we don't keep Rex around.
What?
Yes, it's time to go. Bye-bye, Rex.
So how do you do that? What are you gonna do?
Let's just say goodbye for now, and we'll see you Saturday from 10 to 2 at 118 Capitol Street in
Oh,
Charleston.
so long.
Bye, Rex. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's live. If you have any questions about any of the information that was presented, you can check out our website, wvdii.org. You can also go to our Facebook page and watch this again if you're brave enough to watch it again. So we thank you for tuning in. We hope you have a great Wednesday. Bye, guys.
Gentleman by the name of Bob Calhoun, who is the assistant superintendent for Kanawha County Schools, just in passing had mentioned to me, we'd really like to develop something for preschool. I happened to be working on a few other things with Joe Murphy, who's the CEO of Murphy Media, in relationship to opioid prevention and education, and had mentioned to him, hey, what do you think about creating something that could be applicable to the pre-K environment?
Get to the older ones, sometimes they've already got this mindset of, bad habits, because they see what's around them, and you're unfortunately sometimes a product of your environment. And if we get to them early and they start learning good habits, the earlier the better.
Never imagined that within 4 or 5 weeks we would have a talking avatar that could interact with the children in real time, and we named him Rex the RX.
Have you been telling Mrs. Webb in her class all about, this? What's up with this?
What's that?
What? Oh, that's pretty cool, huh? Don't you wish you had one? Mm-hmm. I bet Joshua wishes he had one. Mm-hmm. And what about Temperance? Hey, Temperance, do you have a hat? Blake, hey, Blake.
He's not gonna high-five you or give you a hug. He will interact with you, but the whole purpose of Rex is that we don't want the kids to keep Rex around.
Oh, guys. Bye.
This is the way, in my judgment, to reach them. They're used to being interactive, and they really don't respond to anything but that. So you've got to find a way to make that impression and make it last.
Hey guys, what do you think of my hat? You like it? Anybody here wear a hat? No.
Kids like Rex because he's also interactive, and he can, communicate in the actual classroom. So you can say the kids' names, and that gets their attention immediately.
The response has just been amazing. The kids really relate to the avatar. So if they do have a prescription medication that they take, which a lot of kids do, we want them to use that medication properly, but we also want to ensure that they're not sharing medications. We know that we have an enormous amount of children living with grandparents, living in foster care. We know that grandparents, that age group, they're more likely to have multiple prescriptions where they probably shouldn't be, where they're much more accessible.
So it's a short program, but it's very effective. And Rex can talk to the kids, answer questions with the kids, and give them vital information.
Technology was used, it was very interactive, and the kids really seem to enjoy it and learn a lot. I mean, medication's not something that we talk about a lot with kids at all because you don't know where to draw that line, but this made it very kid-friendly and interactive.
Do you know what that means?
Hey, hold up a second there, Susan.
And so the message of don't keep Rex around is a real poignant one and real important, and something that a 4 or 5-year-old can kind of wrap their arms around and understand.
So we were really making a difference. We were reaching more schools and more counties and more kids than we ever had before with the medication safety message that Rex shared. And then in March of 2020, just like the rest of the world, the Rex program really came to a halt. So we were all working together and trying to figure out ways to get the program back online in any way, shape, or form, and then kind of hit the pause button and realized that now the message was even more important because you had all of these children who were at home with parents and grandparents who more than likely were not storing medications properly, and that made medication a lot more accessible and the message so much more important. We went back to the roots of Rex, which is innovation, and we found a way to scale the program by bringing Rex into homes remotely. And what that did was it opened everything up to a very unintended audience of parents and grandparents and caretakers who started to engage with us and their children about the importance of medication safety. We continue to believe that the message of medication safety is important, and that's for any medication. It doesn't have to be an opioid. We know that medications can be very dangerous if not taken by the person that they're prescribed. We also know that most children who overdose on a medication accidentally ingest that medication because it was not stored properly. We know that most people who become addicted to a medication do so because they obtain that medication either knowingly or unknowingly from a friend or relative. It's something that we really thought would delay or derail the program, and our message about medication safety really turned out to be something positive in terms of being able to reach more people with the message, because in the end it's really important that no one keeps Rex around.